So I'm continuing on from the last two videos, which were the VEDIAK Yantra, Siddhanta of the Sun, and that Yantra continued, which is become the Surya Yantra. So I'm carrying on from the nakshatras. So that is in the other videos. So I'm not going to draw it each time because it takes time. These are the 27 nakshatras, the 27 nails within the Surya's wheel. And this is the 6 parts that was in the Vayu Purana verses. Also the 12 parts being 5th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, the Samvatsara. And what I'm working out here, which I've shown you other videos with these eyes, is the just working out those 3 sun circles. The Tropic of Cancer being the inner circle and the Tropic of Capricorn being the outer circle. Again, coming from the seed, coming from the wheel. So what I'm doing here, I'm just taking the this Tropic of Cancer, this mind circle, which I've shown in other videos, expands to the ethereal lotus, but for now I'm just going to stick with the with what I'm doing. Just opening up that eye, which again is the Vesica Pisces, is the 12th house, ultimately Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, or Matsya, sacred fish. But everything comes from the Vesica Pisces, the intersecting circles. So there I've just drawn the ecliptic and the elliptic. That is in the other 2 videos too. And again, the ecliptic and the elliptic come from the eyes and the petals. Taurus being up here, Abjit being here, Vega. This is Vega. What am I putting in now? So I'm just marking out a perfect pentagram. I'm drawing out a pentagram, that being ultimately Surya's Chariot, because this degree here is 108 and this degree here is 72. The 108 being the 108 padas, the 108 divisions going around the nakshatras, and the 72 being the Navagraha, the 9 planets, the 7 light planets, and the 2 shadow planets being Rahu and Ketu, which I'll get to. But it all comes from that pentagram angle, that 108 and that 72, and this 36 times 10 being the 360 degrees of a circle. It's all based on a circle, intersecting circles, the Vesica Pisces. So I've drawn in the Sun in Cancer, Tropic of Cancer, Sun in Aries, vernal equinox, the Sun in its southern path, so that's winter solstice, summer solstice, depending on which side of the circle you live. And then here, behind my hands, I've put in Libra. So this is the autumn equinox, when the Sun's in equalization in both Aries, and so this is 21st of March, this is 21st of September, 21st of June, 21st of December. This is movements of the Sun, 5th canto, chapter 21. Those movements, that's what it's all about. And these 7 horses and the 7 planets, because after the movements of the Sun is the orbits of the planets. That's what it goes into. It goes from the Sun to the planets, because that's where the Graha come from. Vayu Purana said the 5 points, the 5 spokes of Surya's wheel. That is the pentagram being the 108. And then you've got the 7 horses, and same even with the first video that I did, It was 12 musical notes, and that's the 7 white keys and the 5 black keys, sharps and the flats. It's just the way the light and this whole the ether is divided, and it's this that determines how the light comes through the ether to us. And I'm drawing in the 12 houses, so that's the Sambat Sarah Wheel, 5th canto. And obviously those 12 houses are those 12 zodiac signs, which is the 4 elements and the 3 modes. That's why there's triangles. You've got the fire triangle, water triangle, air triangle, and the earth triangle. Earth triangle being Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva. Water triangle being Lakshmi, Parvati, and Goddess of Fortune. That's the star of the Devas. And all the Vedic temples, all these edges that they're doing, that's how they're actually creating the edges, it's with the star. It's just laid out from above. I put Abhijit there being the 28th nakshatra, that's the star Vega. And then the 27 nakshatras. And then obviously the 108 for the pentagram, and the 72 being the 7 horses, the 7 days, the 7 chakras, the 7 light frequencies, the 7 graha. And the 2 shadow planets, which is Rahu and Ketu. So we're going to get to that, but the Rahu and Ketu are covering the chariot. Not all the time, just sometimes. So we're going to go from the 4th to the centre. And then we're going to go from the 10th to the centre, and that gives us the S. This is the S for the sun, or the S for Surya. And this is the C for the chariot. And I put the C in going from the 3rd to the 11th house, because 3 times 11 is 33. That's the vertebrae. Remember, all these 7 chakras are going on within those 33 vertebrae. So what I'm doing now, I'm just taking the circle from this eye, and I'm creating Rahu and Ketu. The false mind, the false ego, and the false body. This is where the electromagnetism comes in. Because even though the sun is moving daily, the Kala Chakra is moving daily, the Kala Chakra is moving slightly faster. So there's this appearance of this slipping backwards of the sun, and that's what's called the Dakshin winds, as the sun seems to move backwards through the signs. The sun moves east to west always, it's always moving this way. It's only because the Kala Chakra itself moves slightly quicker, causing this retrograde, moving backwards. And Rahu and Ketu do move backwards. They're 180 degrees from each other, and they are moving backwards to the rest of the Kala Chakra and all the other Graha. And obviously what's coming out here is the Rahu and Ketu, and is the yin and the yang, the conscious and the subconscious, this sort of hidden shadow that we don't see, but it's actually controlling everything, and it can be understood. Because light itself is based on the seed of life. Surya's chariot is the seed of life. How light works is all based on this 180 degrees and this 72 degrees. 36 degrees here being the 360 degrees of the circle. But it's all based on Surya's chariot. This 666, these intersecting circles creating the lotus, and the 360 divided by 5, which gives you the 108. And it's through those two numbers that the all these golden ratios and amazing numbers come through. Anyway, that's Surya's chariot. Well, this now is Surya's chariot that I'm drawing in, the Ra V. The Ra either being the circle, as in Rath, Rathiatra, Ratha, cart, it's Ra means circle. Or this Rahu in this subconscious, the Ra V, vision of the Ra, this subconscious ether, which the Antakasa, which the sun is coming through. That's all finished with the, it's got the 108 padas in, 27 nakshatras, it's all there. The sun is setting here. What am I doing? So that's with the Karnak Sun Temple overlaid over the top. They've got these intersecting points purposely, because these are the northern path and the southern path of the sun. This is how it's measured over this east and west setting point. Here they're using this to plot Venus, but it's also all this esoteric knowledge that I'm showing. This was it's all based on. They're entering here through the Dhruva ropes, and I've got to do a whole video on the Dhruva side, how it's controlled through the ropes. But this is the chariot itself. You can see here the ecliptic in Scorpio. They've even got a whole exhibit, a whole whatever you want to call it. Okay, so that's all that's left of what's there. This part's all caged off, but that's the bit that would actually get you into the nakshatras. And there's a whole thing there to be explored. But here, so we've just been here. They're taking you through. They've opened up the eye. They've opened up this eye. They've opened up these eyes, and it's opened up the nakshatras, and that's where they're taking you to. Here to open up that nakshatra circle. This is what this piece is all about. Because what it is, it's actually when the sun is in its on its southern path. This is where it's setting. It's setting here on its southern path. And they're emphasizing that point because they understand how all of this is coming from the Makara. It's coming from Capricorn, Makara. This subconscious element within the universe that most people don't see. And it's only when you connect it all up through the seed that it all becomes apparent. But this is just the same thing. This is the seed of life, Surya's chariot in 3D. It just all moves, that's all. So instead of me having to move the compass every time I do something, I'm moving the chariot itself within the circle. But it's the exact same principle. It's just the seed of life in 3D. The sun chariot in 3D. It moves, it works just how they say it works. Because this is how the ether works. And it's all based on the 108. And the sun being on that southern path, being in the Makara. See here. Here's the 10th house, here's the 8th house, Scorpio. 108.